Hello, Brady Sam, your engineer, MBA, and investor. And in this Saturday afternoon video, I want to talk about CRISPR Tx. I want to talk about their latest presentation back in mid-January during the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference. And I want to talk about why I believe the market is wrong about CRISPR. Now, this presentation here was published, like I said, 15 January. And the great thing about here is basically the company went and published what's happening with the company, what they've done so far, what they're about to do this year, and for the foreseeable future, long-term future, right? So our vision is to develop cure for people suffering from serious diseases. One approved therapy, of course, CASGEVY. They have 5 programs in clinical trial and 10 other programs in preclinical trials. So that's a big number. That's a large number, right? And in that single program here, of course, CASGEVY, it's all about sickle cell disease, beta thalassemia, 2 blood disorders. We got, of course, their, like I said, this is their first vertical. Their second vertical is the CAR-T space with CTX112 and CTX2131. And they have their in vivo vertical and, of course, their type 1 diabetes vertical. So respectively having its own preclinical programs and or clinical programs ongoing. So this is basically their chart high level. This is how you get to all these programs. What's interesting is Vertex is they have a collaboration for CASGEVY. But for other programs like the CAR-T space, it's pretty much wholly owned, which means they have yet to partner with someone, which again gives an opportunity to establish a partnership and get money up front. In the whole in vivo heart disease space, wholly owned as well. And of course, with type 1 diabetes, they got some stuff with Vertex there as well with, sorry, not type 1 diabetes, I'm sorry, the Duchenne muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis side of things that they're working on, that they've been working on for a while. Again, way too early in that space. So let's head to here. Entering a critical phase of our growth journey. So from 2020 to 2024, I would even go beyond 2020 here. It was all about bringing CASGEVY to the market. It was all about getting that single focused program into approval from the FDA and other regulatory bodies. They've done it in 2023, 2024. They obviously have a lot more regions to get this program approved, but that's bound to happen. Now, in 2025, which is of course the ongoing year right now, it's all about scaling CASGEVY to another level. So right now, just like we covered in last video this week, which was about over 50 patients dosed officially, they want to scale that up. I'm predicting about 200 total patients. Bullish view, I know, but that's what I'm predicting. Some people are predicting maybe another 50. I disagree, but who knows? Could be between 100 patients total to 200 patients dosed so far by the end of this year. Who knows? But they want to also get some updates with the other programs like CAR-T space, the heart disease space, and of course the regenerative medicine space. Opportunistic business development across portfolio, which is exactly what I was talking about. Wholly owned means opportunity to partner up with another company. Could be Vertex, could be another company, who knows? And of course in 2026 and afterwards, they kind of want to get some of these other programs into late stage development, potential improvement for 2026 and onwards. So this is basically the chart, the Gantt chart type of Gantt chart. It's not really a Gantt chart, but I'll call it a Gantt chart for now, that they have for 2025, right? This is what I actually covered in the last video as well from Jasbinder's X post on x.com. So I wanted to take a look at this slide here. This is basically the base. I'm even going to zoom in to show you guys the importance here. CASGEVY here, of course, Wall Street Journal, Time, New York Times, Time, covering all about it, and other news media, almost every single news media, CNBC, everything on YouTube, legacy media, a bunch of people covering CASGEVY. Approved in 8 jurisdictions, and they have over 50 ATCs activated globally, and over 50 patients have initiated cell collection. Sorry, I think I said before 50 patient dose. I meant 50 patient initiated cell collection. Again, it's ex vivo, get the cell out of the body, do some work in a lab, make sure everything's good, and then inject back to the person's body. That's the process of ex vivo. But the most important part here is with these 8 jurisdictions, and of course, there's a bullet point here. So we're looking at US, UK, Europe, Saudi, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Canada, Switzerland, and UAE. There's 60,000 patients that they can address with those 8 jurisdictions alone. We're not even talking about Africa, South America, parts of Asia, pretty much most of Asia. We're not even talking about those regions. We're just talking about those jurisdictions we just talked about, which again is a big, obviously, market for it, and there's obviously money for it. That's why they're focusing on it, and that's why they know that that 2.2 million can be covered by insurance and governments and of those regions. But if you do a math here, guys, let's do the math like we did this in last week's video. Guys, this is $132 billion potential addressable market just for this program alone, in the jurisdiction that they can work on with what they can do with the program currently. Maybe in the future they'll be able to even address more patients with different level of the disorder, whether that's beta thalassemia or sickle cell disease. $132 billion, guys. That's a big number. I don't know about you guys. That's a huge number. Let's just pretend you're not going to get to 60. Let's say you're getting to 40,000 patients, right? Let's say the 20 patients, which is a huge number, you just can't get to for XYZ reason. That's still $88 billion, guys. That's a big number. Is it 88 billion? I just want to be sure here. Am I make sure here. Let's take a look, guys. Maybe I'm yeah, no, it's 88 billion. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. My brain is not in a perfect state right now. So $88 billion with a 40,000 approved patient that they can tackle. So obviously they're never going to do 40,000 in 1 year. Everybody's aware of that. They're never going to do 60,000 total patient that they can do. And by the way, that number is increasing because, of course, it's all about genotype, genetics. Of course, there's more babies born with sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia every single day. Could be just a few, but still a few is too many. So if you take a look at that, let's go back to that initial number here, just because I want to look at the higher end here as a bullish person here. 2.2 million US, which, by the way, that 2.2 million can increase. I don't know if you guys know, they can increase that price. Given a certain time frame. So let's just assume that price sticks and that number sticks for whatever reason. That's $132 billion they can make over the next 10-ish years. Because if you make the assumption they can do about 1,000 patients a year, obviously it's going to need many, many decades to get to 60,000. But what if they can do a lot more than 1,000? What if they can actually figure out to do 3,000 patients a year? Then we're looking at how many years here? You're looking at 20 years. So in 20 years, assuming the price sticks at 2.2 million, which everybody in this channel knows it's never going to stay at 2.2 million. That's a lot of money, guys. That's a lot of money for one single program that, again, there are no more R&D efforts for. I mean, obviously, they're still working on it. Post approval, of course, they have to monitor, provide data to the FDA and so on. But you get my gist, right? There's no more billions of dollars to be poured into this program, knowing that this program is already approved, it's ongoing, this are around those 8 jurisdictions. So to me, there's a massive opportunity here. There's a massive opportunity for one single program. I gotta remind you guys, this is not their whole company. I know CRISPR Therapeutics only owns 40% of this program, and Vertex owns another 60. It doesn't matter, guys. It's one single program. Think about the other 10 preclinical programs. Obviously, not all of them are going to see the light in the day. Obviously, not all of them are going to get approved within the next few years. But even if you kind of take the bearish stance and say, okay, well, maybe 1 or 2 more programs get approved, that's 3 programs that can potentially make billions of dollars every single year. Not just 1 billion. We're talking $5 to $10 billion for the next foreseeable future for the next few years. And then you get other programs enrolled. And then you increase that 2.2 million due to inflation, due to obviously rising costs. You increase to maybe $3 million. I mean, obviously in quite a decade plus. That's a lot of money that gets banked. And people have to be mindful of that. I think the markets are wrong on this. I think the market in general is wrong about the story of CRISPR Therapeutics. They're wrong about the story of CRISPR. They're very focused on one narrow tunnel vision. People are saying, oh, it's only 50 patients, only about 50 patients, been a year. How come it's not 200 patients already? Guys, think about it the long term. You have to see the big picture here. You can't get yourself narrow tunnel vision into the idea that this program is only going to do 50 patients a year. You gotta see the bigger picture here. You gotta see it, because otherwise you're missing the story. You're missing the story of what a CRISPR company can do. And what CRISPR Therapeutics is doing here, it will be reproduced by companies like Beam Therapeutics, companies like NTLA, Caribou, Verve, Prime, all these companies, Mammoth Biosciences, which is a private company, of course, at some point they're going to go public and they're going to reproduce that business model. Get focused for the first few years on one single program, and then next year, scale it up once it's approved. And while you're scaling it up, pour a lot of money in the other programs, and then eventually get to that next level for the other programs. You gotta think this through. You gotta think this through, guys. I think the market is missing this. I think the investors are wrong about this. Institutions, I'm telling you guys right now, there will be a hockey stick behavior on those stock prices right now. Not financial advice, but it's like the S-curve, right? It's slowly, and then at some point it's going to hit the tipping point. It's going to shoot straight up, and then there will be no point of return for these companies with their stock price. They won't be valued, $2-3 billion like CRISPR Therapeutics is. They'll be worth billions and billions, because you cannot look at me with a straight face and tell me a company that is making about $2 to $5 billion from one single program after owning only 40% of the program, every single year for the foreseeable future, is only worth about a few billions. There's no way in revenue. There is no way they'll be worth about 20 to 40 billion, something along those range. If that program is even as successful, only that program. I'm not talking about the other ones. Now imagine when the other programs come along. Again, you may take a bearish case or even a base case and say not all 10 other programs will be approved. Maybe 2-3 programs. That's still a lot more billions per year. So I think there's a story here. I think, guys, there's something to be said here. This is an amazing story, an amazing arc for this company. Amazing time to be in this landscape. I'm very excited for the CRISPR landscape. I know a lot of people are. There's so many reasons to be excited for the science, for the journey that's been since the last few years, the up and downs, but and of course with new U.S. administration, which we may make a video on it, with of course the new head of the health secretary for U.S., Robert F. K. Jr. or J.F. Jr., Kennedy Jr., whatever the full name is. A lot of reasons to be excited for this space. A lot of reasons to be excited for genomics as a whole. And that's why Big Ideas 2025 report from ArkInvest was all about the benefits of AI, the reduction of cost, of speed of getting those programs FDA approved. Lots of things to be excited, guys. I want to end this video like this. So as always, guys, subscribe if you've not. Like this video. Comment below what you guys think, guys. Comment below what do you guys think about this bullish stance I have. What do you guys think? Is 60,000? Is that a lot? Is that 100 billion? What do you guys think? 130 billion? Are these companies undervalued? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Have a beautiful Saturday. It's very snowy here. Wherever you are, hopefully you're safe. Drive safe and don't drink too much. Drink a lot of water, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.